It was the end of an era, but no one knew exactly when the last sun would die. The stars, once eternal beacons in the cosmic ocean, went out one by one like candles overcome by the wind. Astronomers from 20 civilizations had calculated and recalculated, scoured data, orbited black holes, interrogated time itself, and no answer made sense. The probabilities said that the universe should still flourish for tens of billions of years, and yet the light was yielding. The only ones who seemed to understand the crisis were those who had dedicated their lives and more than lives to a singular work, cultivating stars. They were the gardeners of the last sun, an ancient, silent order, born in distant worlds where knowledge grew like moss upon sacred rocks. Their art surpassed technology or religion. It was a hybrid discipline, mystical and scientific, that treated stars as organisms. For them, stars were living beings, aging, breathing, inflaming themselves, and falling asleep in cycles as long as eras. The youngest among them was Sethar, a blue-skinned, golden-eyed monk-botanist whose sensitivity allowed him to feel the pulse of a sun as one feels the heat of a bonfire. Since childhood, Sethar had heard stories about the stellar groves, places where immense living structures, the solar trees, were planted directly on the crown of dying stars to prolong their life. They were not machines nor simple creatures. They were perfect syntheses of organic engineering and scientific spirituality. Their roots crossed plasma, their leaves absorbed neutrinos, and their trunk converted unstable radiation into thermal harmony. They not only saved stars, they also balanced entire planetary systems. They were the greatest triumph of the civilization of the gardeners. But like every triumph, they awakened greed. In the heart of the galaxy, where megastructures rose like mountains of steel and industrial capitals shone with artificial light capable of outshining constellations, the Kyoran Empire faced an energy crisis. Its factory rings, its mining fleets, its eternal cities, everything demanded more energy than any reactor could generate. The same stellar degeneration that frightened the cosmos struck also their reserves. It was a perfect opportunity for quick profits and a death sentence for any world that stood in the way. The Kyoran had discovered that the solar trees could be converted into ultra-high-density fuel. Each one of them, when incinerated, could supply an entire constellation for centuries. It was the kind of promise that makes politicians win wars and corporations become immortal. And so the conflict began. Sethar floated before the sun of Varuk, a reddish star that pulsed like an old heart struggling to keep beating. Around him, thousands of luminescent petals orbited slowly. They were seeds of a new solar tree, prepared to germinate in the plasma. The young monk brought his hands close and felt the song of the star. It was a deep vibration, almost sad, that echoed inside his bones. "She does not have much time," said a voice behind him. Master Naluth, whose gray skin contained cracks that shone like lava, observed the star with a heavy serenity. He had accompanied Sethar since early on and saw in the young one something rare, cosmic empathy, the ability to hear stars as one hears confidences. "We will do everything within our reach," Master Sethar replied. "Yes, but perhaps it will not be enough time." It was not pessimism, it was warning. What none of them knew yet was that millions of kilometers away, Kyoran imperial ships cut the emptiness of space like blades. At the moment Sethar planted the primordial seed on the surface of Varuk, an alarm echoed through the orbital monastery. Gardeners ran through the translucent corridors, communicating urgently. "Kyoran intrusion detected. 2 extraction fleets. They cannot cut the tree. The star would collapse. Call the council." Sethar and Naluth looked through the panoramic window. Dark spots broke the stellar horizon like metallic swarms approaching with predatory intent. "They came for the seeds," murmured the master. "Or worse, they came for the star." The Imperial fleet activated mega-collection arms, devices that shredded any spatial biomatter into fragments useful for fuel. For the Kyoran, the solar tree was not a living entity, it was resource. And resources to them existed to be consumed. The first discharge struck the crown of Varrock, tearing it like a blow against fragile flesh. Sethar felt the stellar pain cross his body. He fell to his knees, gasping, "Master, they are killing her." The newly planted tree trembled. Its first shining roots withdrew in despair, like a plant that senses fire. Sethar said Naluth, supporting him, "We need to activate the Song of Harmony. It is the only way to stabilize Varrock until the council sends reinforcements." But while the master began the ritual, something in the corner of Sethar's mind pulsed like a cold shadow. A question. Why were so many stars dying like this? Why was the decline so sudden? Why did entire galaxies suffer the same simultaneous decay? He had never found an answer until that moment. The beams of the Kaoran machines were not ordinary. They had specific frequency, modulated. They were familiar. Because Sethar had heard them before. Not here, not only in Varrock, but echoing in the death of other stars. Two possibilities clashed inside him. Either the Kaoran were simply repeating a predatory method that had coincided with recent events, or there was something much more sinister. Sethar widened his eyes. "They have been in other stars before," he whispered, "and not to harvest trees, but to push them to the limit." Naluth did not understand immediately, but Sethar continued, "Master, what if it is not a natural cycle? What? What if the death of the stars is artificial?" The silence that followed was as heavy as a supernova. The Kaoran fleet opened communication. A gigantic hologram appeared before the gardeners, High Commander Vorex Khan, whose black armor absorbed light instead of reflecting it. "Gardeners," he growled, "by order of the Kaoran Empire, you are violating high-value energetic property. Surrender and hand over all stellar seeds for processing." Naluth breathed deeply. "The star is dying. If you remove the solar tree, it will collapse and destroy this entire system." "Acceptable collateral losses," Vorex replied without hesitation. "The residual energy of the implosion will be worth thousands of cycles for our industrial production." Sethar felt nausea, not from the threat, but from the confirmation. The same energetic signature, the same brutal harvesting pattern had been detected in the last dying lights of the cosmos. The Empire not only took advantage of the death of the stars, it accelerated it. It caused it. It was like burning all the forests of the universe just to feed a single furnace. And Sethar realized something worse. If the Kaoran continued, there would not be enough galaxy to sustain life. The entire universe would become a frozen desert. Stellar death was not the inevitable end of matter. It was corporate greed on a cosmic scale. While Naluth tried to negotiate, Sethar fled silently to the lower chamber of the monastery, the root archive, where photonic memories of generations of gardeners pulsed. He opened forbidden records, readings of galactic borders, signals collected from stars that died too early, energy drained as if sucked by invisible predators. All patterns matched. "They are harvesting the universe," Sethar murmured. Only one piece of the puzzle was missing. Why now? Why had the Empire suddenly decided to consume entire stars? The answer came with the final archive, images captured by an ancient probe of the Order. In the center of the galaxy, there was something, an anomaly, a gigantic forge built by the Kaoran, a colossal reactor larger than planets, powered by pure stellar radiation. The stomach of the night. And it was hungry. When Sethar returned to the great chamber, the attack had begun. Shots cut the sky in red arcs. Gardeners, though peaceful, used defensive technology capable of manipulating plasma like water. But they were few. Varrock, the star screamed. Its crown trembled like liquid about to explode. The newly planted solar tree tried to absorb the instability, but the attacks broke each attempt. Sethar joined Master Naluth. "You saw it, didn't you?" said the elder, reading the young one's disturbed gaze. "They are killing the stars. It is not accident. It is not natural decay. It is an industrial chain." Naluth nodded with sorrow. I feared this. For decades we have received strange signals, but we did not want to believe. It is easier to accept a natural cycle than to admit a tragedy built by force. What do we do now? Sethar asked. The master looked at him with gravity. We revealed the truth to the cosmos. And save Varuk? If we can, if not, we save what comes after. Fire. Sethar felt his chest burn. It was not fear, it was the pain of Varuk penetrating his senses. He raised his hands and began to sing. Not words vibrations. The song of harmony. A chorus that aligned matter and energy, an invitation for the star to breathe once more, to stabilize, to not surrender to despair. Naluth joined his voice to his, other gardeners too. And the solar tree responded. Its roots shone with golden intensity, leaves were born instantly, thousands of them, capturing every beam of radiation that threatened the star. The tree transformed chaos into order, despair into controlled heat. But the imperial response was brutal. "Neutralize the plant," Vorex shouted, "before they stabilize the star." A gravitational cannon fired. The blow hit the solar tree in the trunk. It writhed like a wounded organism. Its leaves detached and burned in the incandescent atmosphere. Sethar fell to the floor with a muffled cry. The tree was dying. Varuk began to vibrate in instability. Its inner layers stirred. The temperature rose too fast. The supernova was inevitable. Naluth touched Sethar's shoulder. "Son, it is time to flee. I cannot abandon her. No gardener can save a star about to collapse. But I can save her from dying in silence," said Sethar, rising. "I can show the universe who is killing its sons." The master looked at him with sad pride. "Then do it, and may the last light of Varuk protect you." Sethar entered the small ship, organic, made of living fibers that responded to touch. He programmed the route straight to the heart of the Kyoran Empire, to the stomach of the night. There was no plan beyond the truth. As he departed, he saw behind him the growing brightness of the star. It was beautiful and tragic. The supernova swallowed the monastery, swallowed the Kyoran fleet, swallowed everything. But Sethar would survive only long enough to bring his warning to the cosmos. He swore it. The journey through hyperspace was taken by visions. Each passing star was a wound. Each dying system sent an echo that struck him like a dagger. It was like hearing the universe sob. As he approached the imperial frontier, Sethar saw the colossal structure, a black sphere surrounded by hungry rings, absorbing stellar energy through the ducts that looked like macabre roots. He swallowed hard. It was an anti-tree, where solar trees fed stars. The Kyoran forge devoured them, and devoured fast. Sethar activated the long-wave transmitter and sent everything. Records from the root archive, images of Varuk being destroyed, energetic readings, irrefutable proof of the industrial extraction chain that was exterminating the cosmos. Messages would travel in all directions, to civilizations that had never heard of the gardeners, to alliances that had never believed in artificial stellar decline, to peoples who had never imagined that an empire would dare sacrifice the future of all existence for immediate profit. It would be impossible to silence it. But Vorex tried. Imperial ships intercepted Sethar. He was captured, taken to the core of the forge. The commander looked at him as one looks at an insect. "You destroyed our anonymity," said Vorex. "Now dozens of civilizations will rise against us." Sethar, tired, wounded, but kept standing by cosmic anger, replied, "You are killing the universe to keep your factories lit. Do you believe you will exist when the last sun dies?" Vorex laughed. "The Kyoran Empire will survive the end of the universe if necessary. Our technology is eternal." "But life is not," Sethar countered. Before the commander could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. Transmissions arrived from all quadrants. Peoples demanded explanations. Armies mobilized. Diplomatic convoys denounced crimes against existence. The truth had spread faster than light, and the empire was surrounded. Vorex looked at Sethar with murderous fury. "Do you think you have won?" "I know I have," the gardener replied, "because now the universe knows who threatens its own light. Vorex advanced, but a tremor shook the station. The energy drained from hundreds of stars returned as instability. It was the revenge of physics itself. Sethar smiled lightly. Greed exacts its price. The forge began to collapse. Sethar ran to an emergency capsule. He launched at the last instant, seeing behind him the station collapsing, swallowed by the chaotic radiation it had helped produce. The stomach of the night imploded. The light was reborn in the heart of the galaxy. Sethar would not survive much longer. The radiation of Varek's supernova still damaged his body, but he did not need to live. The cosmos was already awake. New alliances arose to protect stars. Peoples once rivals united. Solar trees were planted in dozens of systems. The Order of the Gardeners gained millions of new members. And the Kauran Empire, wounded and exposed, shrank. Its reign based on unlimited exploitation had come to an end. Because one truth echoed in every rejuvenated star: greed destroys the future. Care sustains life, and no empire is big enough to defeat the universe that decides to survive. Sethar, in his last breath, saw a new solar tree blossom in a young star. Its leaves radiated life. And he smiled. For light, contrary to what many believed, had not given up. It had only waited to be defended. If you like this epic story and want more narratives like this, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and watch the next video, where we explore new worlds, new ideas, and new possible futures. Until the next journey.